It's the main event. It's Brandon Moreno. It's Brandon Royval, a battle of the Brandons in, I was going to say the Baja. I don't know. Are they in the Baja of Mexico? I don't know. I don't even know what the Baja is. Who knows? There's no way to know. I don't know. But it's the flyweight main event. Brandon Moreno, Brandon Royval. Let's jump into it. Brandon Moreno, split decision loss against Pantoja in the last one. Finish over Kai Kara-France. Got that series with Figgy in there as well, of course. Extremely well-rounded, I gotta say. And again, I don't give this out all the time. I don't say a lot of people are well-rounded. But you gotta admit, Moreno is well-rounded as well-rounded gets, that's for sure. He's great offensively and defensively, both on the feet and on the ground. I mean, he's got knockouts, he's got submissions, he's dangerous everywhere, he's good at defending everywhere. It is just very impressive to see, which is why I love flyweights so much, because these flyweights have to be so good to compete in this top 5. The speed is also something to behold, that is for sure. He's got very fast hands, and that does not slow down in any of those 5 rounds. He is the same first round all the way to the 5th round, never slows down. This guy is something else. Of course. I mean, of course he's something else. He was the champ. Of course. And of course, dog, absolute dog, has been in really the best wars in flyweight of the last 3 years. Like, I can't think of another war at flyweight that he was not in. I mean, think of this. He was in the Pantoja fight. That was fight of the year last year. He was in the 4 Figgy fights. I think all 4 of them were pretty war-ish. They were great fights. And other than that, I can't even think of another huge flyweight fight that was crazy that he wasn't in. I mean, he is truly in all of the best fights at flyweight for the last 3-4 years. Insane. And he has been a dog in all of them. Amazing. Amazing to watch. Super durable. Never gives up. And I'm convinced it's pretty impossible to finish this guy at this point. I mean, I don't know how you would do it. You're not going to knock him out. Like, that's not happening. And then I don't think you can submit him either, because he's so good on the ground that he can't be submitted either. So he is kind of impossible to finish. He really is. Minus 275. Minus 275 as the favorite, of course, in his home of Mexico. And we'll jump right on in to Brandon Royval, the other Brandon. Lost to Pantoja. That was his last fight. Showed some pretty amazing submission offense before that. Showed some pretty good submission defense in that one. Oh, whoops. I should have written that. His main thing is BJJ. Again, submission offense, defense. Only really had one real moment against Pantoja on the ground, though. But that really just shows you how good Pantoja actually is. Because he does have three submission wins in the UFC. Kai Kara-France, Matt Schnell, Tim Elliott. All 3 of those guys, pretty good, pretty difficult to finish, especially on the ground. So that's pretty impressive. It really is. But interestingly, though, the wrestling, not very good. Not very good at the wrestling. Taken down every round easily by Pantoja. And even before that, they mentioned this in the Pantoja fight, if you watch it back, had something like a 35% takedown defense rate, and he just doesn't get back up. So that wasn't just Pantoja, it's been everybody. He really does not defend takedowns, and I've got a feeling that is going to be exploited to the max this weekend. But he does have one huge asset, probably not in this fight though, but in general, the cardio. Insane. Never gets tired, never slows down. I don't know if I would say he never slowed down, because even in Pantoja, I mean, I guess he was kind of slowing down, kind of, not really, but kind of. But yeah, constant talking point last fight was his cardio. I mean, I don't know how many times I heard in that last fight, well, the camera crew caught him going on a 10-mile run and he was doing a 6-minute pace, wasn't even sweating, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I got it. Like, I heard it 10, 15, 20 times. Yes, I understand his cardio is insane. Sadly, though, I don't think it really matters because Moreno also has insane cardio, and so does Pantoja. So I didn't really think that would affect anything in either one of those fights. I don't think it's going to affect him here either. I mean, yes, again, this is in Mexico at elevation, but guess who also trains at who also has better cardio? You know, it's Moreno. He's fine. He's Mexican too. I mean, he's Mexican. He trains like this as well. There's no way cardio is going to come into play for either guy. I would be shocked if it did. I'm starting to lose my my mouth. I don't even know that's what I'm even trying to say. I'm losing it over here because we're 2 hours deep into the stream. This is where I start to fall apart. But we're moving on. Plus 210. Those are the odds. Who am I giving the edge? This is what it's come down to. Who's getting the edge in the main event? Both of their last fights, again, against Pantoja, Royval was absolutely dominated with the wrestling. Somewhat competitive in the striking, though, but dominated in the wrestling, not even close. And Moreno went to a split in the fight of the year. Super competitive, all over the place with Pantoja. I mean, if that's a rematch that we get after this fight, oh my God, I would love to see that. Sign me up. I don't care. Like, you know, who cares if Moreno is in all these trilogies and quadrilogies and all this shit with other people? The fights are so good that it doesn't even matter. I would watch it 5, 6, 7 times. I don't care. The fights are so good that it doesn't matter. Anyway, I guess I'm delaying it now. And by the way, also, this is also a rematch, and Moreno won by TKO in the first one. It was really similar, actually, not the same, but it was similar to what happened with Ortega, where his arm popped out, and then the difference being that in this one, Moreno actually, I guess it was basically the same. Yeah, the ref stopped it because of his arm. Sadly, though, the difference was this was with 1 second left in the round. So what Royval was saying in his interview this week, which I saw, was that if the ref would have just kept it going, the corner could have put his arm back in and they could have kept going the rest of the 10 minutes. But that's not what happened, which is why I say KO loosely, because it's like, it's kind of just an injury, and it's an injury actually that they could have fixed literally, and I mean literally 2 seconds later. Like 1 second there, maybe 5 seconds walking over to the corner would have fixed it and we would have moved on. But such is life. So who's getting the edge? How do you go against Moreno? Viva Mexico! It's in Mexico. This guy's not losing in Mexico. Come on. I mean, come on. I also just don't think that Royval has the well-rounded skill set to deal with Moreno. I mean, he's got the striking. He's got really good wrestling. I mean, he was throwing Pantoja around a couple of times, too. This dude can wrestle. He can strike. He's got the submission, defense, and offense. Moreno should really win this. I mean, he really, really should. So, and he's also durable. So even if somehow Royval starts to get going with something, I just don't think he's going to get a finish, which means Moreno should be able to win 3 out of the 5 rounds and win the fight. So I'm going Moreno all day on this one. And that's it for the main event. Moreno for the win. Viva Mexico.